Chapter 21. Replacement, when someone else takes your place. There's a particular ache that estranged parents struggle to put into words. It is not merely the pain of distance, or the shock of silence, or the grief of absence. It is something deeper, more destabilizing, more personal. The pain of being replaced. Someone else stepping into the emotional space that once belonged to you. Comfortably, seamlessly, sometimes publicly, sometimes proudly. A partner, a step-parent, a close friend, a mentor, a therapist, an entire online community. These figures begin receiving the love, trust, connection, and emotional intimacy that was once yours, and suddenly you are not only cut out of the story, you are rewritten in it. This chapter explores how and why replacement happens, and why it cuts so deeply. Replacement is not rejection, it is reallocation of attachment. Your child is not simply removing you. They are replacing their foundational attachment with a new one. Attachment cannot disappear. It must be redirected. When your child elevates a partner's opinion, adopts a step-parent as their real parent, reveres a therapist as their inner guide, chooses a friend as their emotional anchor, claims an online group as their family, idealizes someone new, transfers familial roles onto outsiders. They are transferring the psychological bond that once connected them to you. It is not rejection, it is reattachment, and it is profoundly painful to be displaced by someone who has not walked your child's lifetime with them. The step-parent replacement, one of the most common and painful forms of replacement, occurs with step-parents. A step-parent may become the confidant, the safe parent, the understanding parent, the parent who gets them, the parent who supports their healing, the parent protecting them from you. Your child may say, "They're the one who really raised me. They're the one who sees me. They're the one I feel safe with. They're more of a parent than you ever were." It is agonizing to hear a person who entered the story in childhood or adolescence be assigned a role you spent years building. But this replacement reflects the child's need for emotional simplicity, not the truth of who parented them. When a partner becomes the new emotional center, partners hold enormous influence because romantic relationships are powerful regulators of adult identity and belonging. A partner may reinforce grievances, reward estrangement, influence interpretations, shape narratives, encourage distance, assign blame, claim understanding, position themselves as the rescuer. You may hear, "They help me see what you did to me. They open my eyes. They're the one I trust. They're the family I choose." When a partner becomes the emotional center, your presence becomes a threat to their bond. Thus, distance becomes loyalty to the partner, not the past, the therapist as replacer. Some therapists unintentionally intensify estrangement by oversimplifying childhood through trauma frameworks. They may impose trauma language, assign labels like toxic or unsafe, interpret normal parental imperfection as harm, encourage full cutoff as healing, reinforce emotional narratives, dismantle nuance, frame adult struggles as parental failure. Your child may begin using therapeutic terminology, trauma narratives, black and white language, rigid identity categories to justify the new story. You become the antagonist in a therapeutic arc that the therapist believes is central to your child's growth. This is not healing. It is narrative re-engineering. Identity groups as replacement families. Online communities can feel like instant belonging. They offer validation, shared language, supportive echo chambers, trauma narratives, group identity, simple explanations, emotional intensity. Your child may feel understood there in ways they don't understand themselves. These groups often promote messages like, "Family is who you choose." Walk away from anyone who hurts your peace. Cut off toxic parents. You owe your family nothing. Your role is minimized in favor of belonging to the collective. It is not about you at all. It is about identity. Why replacement hurts more than estrangement alone. Estrangement is absence. Replacement is erasure. Estrangement is loss. Replacement is displacement. Estrangement leaves a gap. Replacement fills it with someone else. There's nothing quite as painful as watching someone who did not raise your child receive the love you once poured into them. You feel discarded, humiliated, betrayed, worthless, painfully invisible, emotionally irrelevant, replaced in your own family narrative, rewritten out of the story. Replacement steals something sacred, not just connection, but identity. Replacement feels personal, but it isn't. It feels like they chose someone over me. They believe someone more than me. They love someone instead of me. They replace me because I failed. But replacement has little to do with merit. It has everything to do with emotional need, influence, triangulation, loyalty dynamics, identity building, narrative ecosystems, psychological pressure, unresolved internal conflict. Your child did not replace you. Because someone else loved them more, they replaced you. Because someone else became easier to love, easier because that person did not carry the weight of childhood feelings, easier because that person did not represent the emotional struggle your child carries internally, easier because blaming you simplifies their story. Replacement is convenience, not truth. The parent's emotional spiral. Being replaced triggers a deep emotional spiral. What did I do wrong? Am I unlovable? Why wasn't I enough? What does that person have that I don't? Was everything I did meaningless? Why can't I compete with someone who wasn't even there? These questions reflect heartbreak, not reality. You are enough. You are enough. You remain enough. Replacement is not a verdict on your worth. It is evidence of the emotional distortion estrangement creates. Why this chapter matters. Replacement is one of estrangement's cruelest wounds. It is not proof that you failed, proof that you were unlovable, proof that someone else parented better, proof that you are unsafe, proof that your child sees the truth. It is proof of influence, emotional need, misaligned loyalty, identity confusion, unresolved pain, psychological pressure, triangulation, narrative reinforcement. You were not replaced because you were inadequate. You were replaced because the emotional world your child entered required a stand-in figure to maintain the narrative. You are not less than, you are not erased, you are not obsolete. You are the foundation they stand on, even if they deny it. The next chapter explores what happens to the parent internally. As the years stretch on, if this content resonated with you, you're welcome to like and subscribe to Depth of the Quiet. This is a space you can return to whenever you need steadiness, whether that's during a quiet afternoon or at 2 a.m. when your thoughts feel heavy and sleep feels far away. If you feel comfortable, you're invited to share your reflections, questions, or experiences in the comments. Your voice may offer comfort to another parent walking a similar path. And if today isn't a day for interaction, that's completely okay too. There's never any pressure here, only support, understanding, and the freedom to heal at your own pace. You are always welcome in this space. If you would like to go deeper, you can explore Depth of the Quiet by Latina Venus Sidorov, available in paperback and Kindle on Amazon. For spouses and partners supporting an estranged parent, Standing Beside the Broken by Stas Sidorov, available on Amazon. Thank you for spending this time here. Take care of yourself gently